Merry Christmas, friends! I hope you're enjoying the holidays and the lead up to Christmas. I just thought I'd show you a few of the things I've made as Christmas presents before I give them away this week. So, if you're my mum or my sister or her fiance, don't watch this video till after Christmas, because hashtag spoilers. I wanted to show you guys, I've made 2 by the sea shawls with the Alegria yarn from Manas del Uruguay that I showed you before. This is the green one that I finished. It's all blocked out, the ends are all weaved in. And so I didn't have enough yarn left over to make any tassels for this one like I did with the purple one. Not sure what I'll do with this little bit, maybe practice some knitting or something and see how that looks. That'll be fun. And so that's the green one. This is for my mum. So once again, Mum, I hope you're not watching this before Christmas. I think it looks pretty nice. It looks better, you know, not just like that. By the way, I'm standing on like one of those foam blocks you use for yoga and stretches and stuff, so that I can have this little guy in the background. It's a little bit awkward. Anyway, so there he is. So when we blocked it, it came out to, when I blocked it, it came out to about 2.2 meters. So that's pretty long for one skein of shawl. So the pattern for that is by Sarah Shrimpton of Annabu's House, and it's on Etsy. You can also see I have a project page on Ravelry for this particular item, and that links back to the pattern as well. I've also made a blue one. I have a similar amount left over from the blue one. Those are lovely blues. I really enjoy it. And this one is for my sister. You can see the difference. This one I have only just finished last night. The ends aren't woven in yet, and I haven't blocked it. If you don't know what blocking is, it's a method of kind of stretching out the stitches and making them just look better. Sometimes it helps to make garments fit properly and all that sort of stuff. So for wool items, you just need to soak them in. I usually soak them in a bowl of water, and then gently squeeze out as much water as I can. Then I lie it flat on a towel and roll it up in the towel and squeeze out more water. And then I'll pin it out on some mats. And I use some camping mats from Kmart, and I just have some rust-proof pins that I pin it out with. And you just, you want to pin it out to make the stitches, give it a bit more stitch definition. So you can see that there, the green one is a lot more lacy. So blocking is good for lacy kind of stuff. Some people do it for blankets, especially if you're sewing a lot of pieces together. But like, I made a hexagon blanket a few months ago, and I just found that once you attach the hexagons, they kind of just made their own corners nicely, and as long as your original piece is decent enough, it'll work out. But for lacy pieces and shawls and stuff, it's really nice to block them, and they look a lot nicer. Also, they get a lot bigger. So these 2 are made with the same yarn, the same hook, the same pattern, and I swear the same tension this time. So that's them starting at the same point. And then, can't really see, but this is the middle of the blue one. This is the middle of the green one. It's a few centimeters off there. And then this is where the blue one finishes. There's still much more green to go once it's been blocked, and there's much more space between the stitches. So I will block the blue one probably this afternoon. Right after this video, I'll probably soak it and then pin it out and leave it to dry this afternoon. Matt and I are going to do a rehearsal for a band for a Christmas service that we're in at church tomorrow night. So that will be fun. If you can't tell, I'm a bit nasally because I'm recovering from a cold. I did have a day off work this week. But thankfully it's not as bad right at the moment as I thought it might have been. And also thankfully Matt hasn't really seemed to come down too badly with it. I thought he might have come down with a bit of man flu for Christmas. But thankfully not, because I'm meant to be singing at church. So, you know, colds aren't good for that. And then other things I've made for Christmas. Like my sister just gets all of the handmade gifts this year apparently. I also made her a cactus. Oh my goodness. Every time I look at this guy, I can't help but smile. He just makes me so happy. I think I'll have to make one for myself. It's great. So, look at him. He looks like a balloon. I bought these pots from Bunnings. They're, I think I measured across. Look, my memory tells me it was 17 centimeter diameter. That doesn't look quite right. It was definitely 30 centimeter radius, which I knew because I had to make this guy big enough to kind of sit nicely in there. So what I did, I might make a little tutorial or something for it. It's pretty straightforward. I just did a bunch of chains to this length. I don't know how much this length was. And then I did half double crochets all the way back along the chain. And then for the second row, I did half double crochets in the back loop only, and then I just repeated that every time back and forth in the back loop only. So I ended up with this big kind of rectangle or square shape, and then sewed up the two sides, the two ends. So that seam is back here. It's more visible on the inside just because of the way I did it. And then cinched in the top, kind of sewed all around and pulled that in. And then it was kind of, he was huge, so I decided not to sew him up right at the bottom. I left a few centimeters and sewed him up there just so I didn't use quite as much stuffing for the part of him that's going to be in the pot. And look at him! He's adorable! And then we bought a second pot so that I could make my sister's fiance a plant as well. He didn't want something quite so cutesy with eyes and stuff, and he liked the succulent I had at my market, which was just like this little guy. But this is based off the pattern for Flora. So this is Flora, and she is by, I think it's pronounced Amour Faux. Anyway, Amour Faux is on Instagram and Etsy, and she makes lots of doll patterns, beautiful ones. Like she has one for Princess Leia and one for Anne of Green Gables, and then last year for an amigurumi design contest, the theme was monsters at the end of last year. And I mean, Flora doesn't really look like a monster, but she looked slightly more zombie-ish in the original. The thing is, she's not just a doll with succulents on her head. She turns into a pot. Isn't that fun? Anyway, so there she is. Look, perhaps you can tell I ran out of this green yarn and I had to go back to Spotlight to get more, but they didn't have the exact same colour. Like this isn't even similar at all. But it works. I mean, succulents have different coloured leaves, right? So, here we go. It's a little succulent and a fern hanging out the side. And that's by Amour Faux. I'm probably ruining that, but I will definitely have it written here somewhere. So she had lots of great patterns. Yeah, I'd like to do the, and she has one for 11 from Stranger Things as well. So many different patterns. And some that aren't like characters you would know. She has some of her own characters too. So there's Flora. She hangs around and watches me crochet. So, this is just made like with Flora's head bits basically. So there's the fern, which is made the same, and it's all the same pattern, and the succulent. And what I did for this, I made the dirt, I just, kind of started crocheting in a circle for the dirt, and made it kind of almost as big as the pot before I did a few straight rows, so that it would kind of squish into the pot. And it stays, like obviously it comes out, but it comes out. But you're not going to be tipping your succulent upside down. It's just going to like sit on a desk or table or something. So increased until it was almost the same size as the circumference of the pot, and then did a few straight rows and then started decreasing. And I just attached the succulent and the fern on top, as per the instructions in the pattern. Okay. So that's my Christmas gifts. Well, not all of them anyway, just some of the handmade ones. So I hope you all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'd love to hear if you guys made Christmas gifts for your friends or family as well. Leave that in the comments if you'd like to share. And yeah, Merry Christmas.